Lily is quiet. She's not going to speak. Rough one. All right. Next, I'd like to invite Wyatt Stonesecker up to be recognized. He is our second student of the month for February. Wyatt is another young man that has maintained a very successful academic career at Littlestown High School. He has extended himself into the next level by taking courses such as college algebra, hack general psychology, and hack interpersonal communication. Math teacher Mrs. Shoemaker has the following to say about Wyatt. Wyatt is a very trustworthy, courteous, and studious person. He is kind to others no matter who they are. He is always smiling and saying hello. Wyatt is my go-to person that will get things completed on time and to the fullest. Wyatt is a great person that is good friend to many, and his caring personality is appreciated. While making excellent strides in the classroom, Wyatt has also kept himself involved through athletics. He has played football for 13 years, participated in track and field for 6, and wrestled this year. Wyatt assumed a leadership role with this year as he was named a football captain. His football coach, Mr. Biddle, states that Wyatt is an extremely hard worker, is motivated, and pays attention to details. Personally, Wyatt enjoys weight training, hunting and fishing, and holds a job with Annie Ann's. English teacher Mrs. Knight adds, I had Wyatt when he was in 10th grade. I remember that he was always willing to work with any peers, even if they were not typically friends. He always went out of his way to make all students feel included. We are all proud of him as he plans to attend HAC's Radiologic Technology program after graduation. Congratulations to Wyatt Stonesecker. Is there anything we should do?
I'll be good. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the students of the month, like Ford, and like always, we always enjoy hearing all the good things they do. Best of luck to all those that are going on to college, whether local or West Virginia. The young one there with your snakes. Yeah. If you'd like to leave, you may do so. Mr. Moran would like to take the students in a picture for websites and so on and so forth. And like always, thanks to the teachers for showing up. I appreciate it. We recognize the members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium, state your name, confirm you're a resident or taxpayer in the district, topic of your discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to a board as a whole, not as an individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if this speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. And Ms. Johnson will up first.
My name is Suzanne Johnson. I'm a district parent, resident, taxpayer, and voter. It was great hearing about the great things from the students and teachers. Now I'll turn to some of the less admirable things happening in this district. I will continue to shine a light on those things that the school district is attempting to hide to cover their own misdeeds instead of acting on behalf of what's best for the students and taxpayers. Let's start with the statement that the meeting chair just read before public comment that says, please direct your comments to the board as a whole and not individual board members. This violates First Amendment rights to free speech and the right to petition the government, including school boards, for a redress of grievances. Further, the inconsistent application of this rule is viewpoint discrimination, a further violation of constitutional rights. Meeting chairs have also demonstrated viewpoint discrimination when they allow some to interrupt meetings to speak from the audience and not others. These violations could be quite costly to the district. Pennsbury School District paid $300,000 in attorney's fees and nominal damages in similar circumstances when they had to settle the Marshall versus the Musso lawsuit. When are you going to cease this unconstitutional directive for public comment? And will the meeting chairs be personally liable if they continue this discrimination and by inconsistently applying rules? You shouldn't expect the taxpayers to foot the bill for your illegal actions. After stock and later legal charges were conspicuously missing from the December and January general fund statements, I'm seeing charges totaling over $11,460 for February with a cryptic description of miscellaneous legal expenses. This break in legal billing is concerning given that it follows an employee that resigned in November, filing a right to know request in December, and appealing it in January when the district refused to intervene on behalf of her child's account being hacked by an internal school device. It gives the appearance that the school district is trying to delay the disclosure of legal charges at the taxpayer's expense, encouraged due to school leaders' misdeeds. This school board administration do not adhere to your own policies. Per board policy 300 on unlawful harassment, it shall be the policy of this district to maintain an employment environment in which harassment of any form is not tolerated. According to board policy 11 on board governance and standards of codes of conduct, you each are responsible for, quote, leading with respect and taking full responsibility for board activity and behavior, and engaging all community stakeholders to encourage input and support for the school system. Further, this policy indicates that you will not use your position as school directors to benefit yourselves or any individual or agency. LASD administrators and this school board as a whole, with the exception of Mr. Sullivan, have enabled Janelle Ressler to abuse her position on the school board, to harass me and others in this community. You all have directly supported her actions and or indirectly supported this by failing to hold her accountable. Several community members have come to me and directly shared with me that she has also harassed their families through her position on this board and youth sports, including the former employee who filed a right to know appeal after resigning in November. It shouldn't be any surprise that bullying is a problem in our school district when the adults are setting this example. Let's refer to the advice from the Stomp Out Bullying campaign. Bystanders are those who witness bullying in action but do and say nothing to change or stop it, sending a message to the bully that what they are doing is acceptable. That also means that you are part of the problem and not the solution. Fear of retaliation or exclusion may be preventing you from taking steps to help. Actively speaking out against bullying takes courage and leadership. To be an upstander, you must take action to tell the bully to stop and get others to stand up to the bullying. Be a leader and do the right thing to set an appropriate example for the students in this district. Last election, the community voted for change and 7 new board members were seated, which brought all kinds of chaos but not positive change. All but 1 board member have consistently approved new spending measures, and then with upcoming elections, feign surprise when faced with potential increases, even those who aren't up for re-election because they don't want to lose the majority vote. Despite campaign promises, you attempt to suppress transparency as required by the PA Sunshine Act and free speech as guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. I will set the right example for my child and others in this district to stand up for what's right and speak out when officials are using taxpayer funds to foot legal bills and enable Janelle Ressler to harass me and others in this community.
Thank you. And Jeannie Stanton.
Yeah, what I have to say isn't good. I don't have anything written down. I'm talking to the whole board and administrators here. You suck. You are failing everybody, every citizen of Littlestown. You encourage people to attend these meetings, to participate, and yet when we email you, you don't answer. Absolutely not. I wrote you, but I'm going to back up a little bit. If you're harassment, Janelle Ressler has to go. Yup, she has to go. She is harassing people. She is intimidating people. Don't shake your head. You think it's secret. You think it's confidential about your former employee. The only place it's secret is up here in your little minds. I have talked to her. I won't say her name. Her initials are K.O. I talked to Miss K.O. You failed her. She was an employee. She came to you. She told you how Janelle is harassing her and her family. You did nothing. It's like one of you held open the carpet and the others tried to sweep it under. You failed her. You failed her elementary school child when she told you what was going on. You did nothing. Miss Johnson has told you repeatedly of the harassment and you do nothing. I wrote you the first time in all my years, and I got a lot of them. I wrote you. That's the only time you answered me. Janelle answered too, because my letter was about her. Anytime she answers a citizen on her school email, it's harassment. She tried to bully me and intimidate me because of my concern. And you let her. As long as you are not standing up to that toxic woman, you are enabling her to continue misusing her position. And I can hardly wait for the media. Y'all need to look at the budget and how much money y'all are paying the solicitor to defend her, to cover it up. And in covering up for her, you're covering up for yourself. And I want it out there. I am not afraid to talk to the media. I'll talk to anybody in this room. I'll talk to any political group. I'll talk to radio, television, heck, I'll talk to People magazine. The woman has to go. She was harassing we the people, the public, and it's got to stop.
Thank you. Okay. Gil, you're up.
This is the board update for February. Let's see what's, I don't think anything's changed up there other than the number of reports expended for 18 now. And we did not have expected amount of snow, so we didn't have any other lost weather dates. And next slide, please. Tonight, we will be in D and a little bit of G and F buildings. That's this area here. It's mostly the 1960s construction. Next slide, please. We demolished the interior of the first and second floors of building D and E. And the phase 2 section of building F and G is about 80% completed as far as the demolition is concerned. That's ceiling, plumbing, electrical, heating and air conditioning, the old casework that isn't staying, and the old high school office areas. The new entrance at the south end of the E wing has been demolished. While the interior is demolished, the open is Next slide, please. Block work in the, to renovate the bathrooms in E wing on the first and second floor, and G wing, the learning commons area that's begun. Footers in the learning commons area has started. The Steel stud for the walls, as well as block walls and the door bucks in the old office area. It's about 70% complete. They actually have more than that done now, but when I wrote the report, that's where it was. Plumbing rough in and building E and F just started. The trenches have been cut and dug in the floor, and the sewer piping is in. Some of the overhead is done. Lobar is working on the electrical rough in for all those areas that we started, and they're making good progress there. All the corridor door bucks are installed. Steel studding for the new walls has begun around those door bucks. Excellent. The exterior footers, the learning commons area have been started, and we've started some for the new kitchen area. The south wall has been excavated. And the HVAC installation has started. There's ductwork up, there's leak coils and units being hung in the first and second floor. Next slide. We've run into some steel that was in areas that it wasn't supposed to be, and the architects and the engineers are working on resolving that. The occupancy inspection for the multi-purpose room from phase 1 was completed. That's pretty much ready to go. I don't know if you guys are using it yet or not, but occupancy was granted on that. Right now, we don't have any issues outstanding. Costs, we are at $30,409,960 of the pay applications approved to date, and change orders at 457, 152, which is right around 0.8% of the contract cost. Next slide. All right, that's the new multi-purpose room. That's the turf in the purpose room. The gray area at the upper left is the batter's box, and you see the batting net up against the wall, and it slides out into the area to be used. Next slide, please. There's the batter's box area. That's inlaid into the floor. Next slide. That's a picture of the corridor on the 24th of January. Next slide, please. And there's the corridor on the 31st of January. These blocks that you see here, these large concrete blocks of pyro block, they'll remain. It was part of the old wall system for the corridors. Next slide, please. That's when the demo started in the classrooms in building E on 131. Next slide. There it is on 217. Like I said, most of the demolition is completed. That's the old office area. The walls have all been taken out. Black items and steel columns remain supporting the second floor, the roof. Next slide, please. Another view of the same area. You can see the door bucks are being installed. New door bucks for the new offices that are going in there. Next slide, please. That's the commons area on the first floor. That was broken out into what used to be the back entrance to the cafeteria corridor. That's going to be a large open area for students to use. There'll be a stairway in this area here going up into the second floor of the building. Next slide, please. That's the exterior of that same area. There you can see the doors into the cafeteria corridor and the opening of the wall. There's a whole area that's built out into there and a stairwell that goes up to the windows there on the second floor over the cafeteria doors. Next slide, please. That's going to be the new entrance at the end of the south end of the E wing, the old 1960s wing. That'll be for drop-off and pickup. There used to be a small classroom in there, and that'll end up in a corridor with another exit on it. Next slide, please. There's the footers in the first floor for the new bathrooms that were poured. There's now a block up in there. They're starting to lay up the block walls. Next slide, please. when there's some of the excavation for the sewer inside the building, they had to trench the floor and connect to the old sewer in the corridor outside that wall. Next slide, please. Some of the sewer piping is being put in, all plastic piping now. There's your artist rendering of the new addition and the existing building. Next slide. And there's what we look like as of the 28th of February. We're getting pretty close. There's some work that needs to be done up in this area on the steel cladding for the outside. And then eventually this whole wing will have new windows in it, in here. And I believe that's it. Any questions?
I have a question, Mr.
Sure.
So as the project moves along the contract to your work, who approves the work quality first?
Victor and I pretty much approve the work quality, but the architect makes regular inspections of the area. What happens is, it's checked to see if the workmanship is done to current standards and to the specifications the architects and the engineer wrote. We check to make sure that the finishes and everything are meeting what the specification calls for. So it's basically comparing what the contractors are doing to the blueprints and the specifications.
Here, can you scroll back up to the page, slide 9?